Renee. Good morning, everybody. Afternoon if you're Eastern Standard Time, but good morning. Happy May Day and happy day one to this amazing 30-day handstand challenge. I am Shannon Morrison and I am helping Miss Amanda White out and kind of just starting the intros and getting us in this fun festivities of day one. So if you're seeing this in replay, welcome to the replay. Post some questions, post some answers to the things we're going to talk about as you see and go through this replay. But if you're here in real time, thank you so much, Kayla, for being here. And Dawn and her cuteness of puppy love are in the room. So excited to see your beautiful faces today. Happy May Day, by the way. It's so fun to have this and starting out on this amazing day. And the sun is shining. I love this ambiance that's going on here. My highlight, I don't even have highlight on, but it sure looks like I have highlight on. So it's great. Look at that. Oh my gosh. So welcome. So we're going to start out with doing intros. And I know the four of us know each other, but there might be some people in the group as we get going that don't know all of us amazingness. So if we could start with Miss Kayla, can you introduce yourself? Just tell us a little bit about where you are coming from and why you decided to join this amazingness this month.
Sure. So hi, I'm Kayla. I'm calling in from Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. And yeah, I was just really excited when I was chatting with Amanda because I've never been able to do a handstand. And so she was like, yeah, I've got this challenge. So I was like, if you can get me to do a handstand, I will be there. So here I am.
Awesome. Welcome. So excited to have you here. Miss Dawn.
Hello, I'm in Springfield area in Missouri, so in the middle. And have 6 dogs, so sorry, they're gonna get loud, so I'll keep muting myself. They think that yoga time is playtime.
Absolutely.
I'm on the ground. So anyway, what else did you ask?
And why did you decide to join this amazingness with Miss Amanda this month?
I would love to be able to do a handstand. I have a lot of shoulder mobility issues, so been working really hard on that, but still have several catches. So I just don't have the upper body strength. I feel like you did a couple of those poses, like maybe it was like a reverse back bend. I forgot the name of it. And I couldn't get up. Like,
okay.
So I know that's where part of my strength issues are in that area, as well as my wrist. I can do that, but then the pressure gets to be a lot. So I probably need some strengthening on that as well. So
I'm excited. Awesome. So you're here to really gain some strength and mobility, and it's going to be so fun to get to that point at the end of the month in 30 days. So thank you so much for being here, Dawn. I am Miss Shannon Morrison. If you guys don't know, I am in the middle of nowhere. I'm in Nebraska, so I'm like actually pretty close to Dawn in proximity, right? And actually have family that lives in the same place that she lives in. So that's super cool. The reason I joined this challenge is because I used to do this all the time, right? And I'm like, hey, let's see if I can do this. I do have challenges in my upper body, my shoulders and my hands as well. But I have like done certain things throughout that I'm like, I did this, I did beach body. I swung my buttocks up a little bit. I didn't get all the way up there, but I think I can do this, right? And I think it's going to be fun. And I can do so many amazing things if I'm challenged in a group setting. Like, right, I would never be able to just go and be like, yeah, Shannon, in 30 days, you're going to do a handstand. And I'll be like in my backyard, falling down a lot, right? But if we're here with accountability, we're here like laughing at each other, we're like, good job, sis, your ass almost got up there. I think it's going to be fun. And at the end of it, I feel like our core and our upper body and our arms are going to look fabulous for summer. So like, I'm all in, right? I mean, it's a win-win, right, ladies? We're gonna be able to, yeah, the bikini is gonna look way better.
And let me just
My
say,
goal.
I have been doing these for some time now, and these arms are getting a little better each day. So let me tell you, you're going to have some pretty great arms and forearms and shoulders by the end of this. So I guess I'm Amanda. I am the host of this challenge, and I am so excited to be here with each of you. So thank you for joining me. I am obviously in sunny Arizona, and I am excited to get going and really take this step by step with you guys. And again, you guys have access to me 24/7, except when I'm sleeping. But questions, concerns, issues, I am here for you. And I wanted to make that very clear. I am here if you have questions, challenges, issues. The group is always going to be open. And I didn't want to should I get into kind of like the schedule? Is that?
Oh, sorry, I was muted. I'm mute, then you can talk. Yeah, if you just want to like, you wanted to kind of just kind of brief us, where do we find the schedule? How do we locate it in the group? Let's just like look at that real quick, just so everybody understands like how easy. I'm always about this. I'm like always about like my attention. What button can I push to make this thing come in front of me and really fast, right? And so like, what button do we push, Miss Amanda, for Shannon's attention span to be all in?
Okay, so I'm going to just quickly run down the schedule and then we'll get into that question because it kind of goes into. So you guys, every day, I will be going live in the group, okay, at 9 o'clock every day, coming with different exercises. Yes.
9 o'clock your time?
9 o'clock, yes, Pacific Standard Time.
Pacific Standard Time, okay.
I'm trying to keep it the same time every day. The only day that may change is Friday. I have to talk to my client and see if we can't switch that time. But Fridays is the only day that may change the time. Each day at 8:30 a.m. Pacific time, a mantra will be posted in the group for you to use throughout the day. At 8:45, except today, there were 2 posts, a kickoff post and then a day post. At 8:45 from here on out, at 8:45, it will post the day and the topic, what we're talking about that day. And then 9 o'clock, there is a video. You can use the live as your homework, or to answer your question, Shannon, we will go into the guide section. Guide 1 is an assessment. We should do the assessment if you have not yet, because that's going to tell you a lot about where you are. Can you do this? How many times can you do this? And that is also why I posted the guides. I made a wrist guide, a shoulder guide, and a core guide. So you have these guides, and that is day 1, day 2, and day 3. And these we will be doing every day. That's why I gave you pictures, videos. I'm trying to make this as easy for you as possible to access everything. The guides you will literally use every day until you remember what exercises you're doing. That is really what they're there for, just to get everything in check. Really quick, let me quickly, no, we're not doing that yet. Every Sunday, we will meet on this Zoom at 9 o'clock Pacific Standard Time every Sunday. This is for all of us. We'll meet for 15 to 30 minutes. We'll go over whatever you guys have questions about, concerns, issues. If you need help finding alignment as well, I am there. If you're not sure if your shoulders are really over your wrist, I got you. I got you. And that is why I've had pictures. I do, if it's optional, obviously, but if you could like set up a phone and really record yourself doing these, the more involved you are, the better the outcome is going to be. So if you tape yourself doing the wrist extension. Look at it, post it in the group and say, oh my goodness, this is what I'm learning. This is what I've learned, or this was a real challenge for me and I'm not used to this. It's okay. And the more we chat with each other, it's going to all come together and build the community that we need. So it's going to be the same. I may make a separate graphic that just says Zoom, and then the link will be posted in the feature section. Did anyone have a hard time finding the link today? No. Okay, because I did put it in the featured section. I just didn't know if that was clear. One other thing I'm just going to mention, and this is optional because I don't want to overwhelm. If you want to geek out on your progress, like this girl does, literally, and anything I'm doing, I keep track of the progress I make, because that is the exciting part. When I tell you, when I suggest how many of these you should be doing, this is a rough starting point, you guys, and that is why the assessment is important. I rounded everything off to 10 to start. If you're not there yet, it's okay. Don't get discouraged, please. 10 is just a good number to start with. If you're not there, we're going to start with 5. And then we're going to build on that each day. That's why the assessment, see how many you can really do. Like really get into these exercises and say, all right, I'm just going to see how many of these I can do. I'm going to see if I can do 10, and if I can go past 10, let's do that, because that is your baseline. And that is going to be with anything. And then you can journal like, okay, I did this many wrist exercises, wrist extensions. I did this many wrist flexion. And then throughout each day, you're going to see how you're progressing and how many more you can actually do. And by the day 30, you're going to be like, whoop, whoop, I got this. Like, it's exciting.
It'll be exciting. And also we do, honestly, if we wanted to, just like any kind of fitness challenge that I've ever done to like upgrade anything that I want to work on, right? I always take before and after pictures.
Yes, that was going to be my next thing.
So if you want to like show your muscles in the mirror and then show your muscles in the mirror on day 30, you could always like look at that and be like, dang, these little tiny things. It just changes your mind, right? It just kind of changes your mindset. It's just something that I do. Like, if I'm going to work on my core, if I'm going to work on my, a certain part when you're in your workout practice, or even like doing the yoga flows we've done, I'm like, I sit on my sits bones way better these days, and my core is engaged way differently, way more often, because like when I'm like dancing a jig, I was saying that the other day, I was dancing to a song because we are upgrading our morning routine these days, and I was like, my stomach was kind of like tired. I was like, dang girl, you're learning how to like engage that core a little more often. That's fabulous. You might have, summer's coming.
That's right. Absolutely. So I guess that kind of struck something like the before and after. I'm going to make a post about that later today. We're all going to take a picture of just like the front and then our muscles and then the back, and then post day 1 today. Once you do the wrist exercises, like this could be a thing. And then at day 30, we'll do the same pictures, try to be in the same outfits, and we'll compare. And then we'll also see the progress. Boom.
All right, great. So you want us to post these pictures?
Would we feel comfortable?
Just joking. It's
like,
fine.
I want everyone to be comfortable, but I want everyone to maximize this as well, because this is a small group, and I wanted a small group for a reason. Like, I didn't want hundreds of people. I want it to be a small, intimate group, because we can help one another. We can build the community, and we can engage where we're at. And this is where, again, your accountability partner is going to come in. You should be touching base every few days with your accountability partner to really say, hey, how you doing? Where can I help? Do you need a little nudge? And then you may even want to meet up with your accountability partner and do these together. Like, what a better way to build the exercises and make it fun. Like, that's why we have partners. Yes, Dawn.
Yes, Dawn.
Who is our accountability partner?
Well, we're gonna figure that out today.
Okay.
I can leave that to you guys, or we can pair off. Completely up to you. The only person that is not at this meeting is Tara, and she will be in the group though. So she is with us as well from Google. So we kind of all know each other.
Yeah. That's a great idea. I really like the journaling idea because it's going to be completely different and it's progressive, right? Even like you said, even like 2 weeks in, you'd be like, well, how many was I doing first week? How many was I doing 10 days ago? How many, how many can I do this? That's awesome. Or did I get a little higher on that there thing? Or was I able to do the back bend a little bit more? So
And
yeah,
that's
gonna be
where,
great.
again, the assessment comes in. Like, we want to assess, because if I start you off at 10, but you're like, oh my goodness, I could do 50 of these. Well,
Mhm.
obviously I want you to do the 50, 50, So start with your base, because each day we're going to be adding a few more, because that is how we're going to build wrist. Now, with that being said, I want you to listen to your body as well. If you are having some issues or concerns with these wrist exercises, do not push it. Please come to me first. I do not want you to get injured or any of that. That is not how I set this challenge up. So if you do need, ring me, message me. I'm pretty good about getting back to everybody in a timely fashion. And wrist wraps, just so you know, there are those little, I thought I had one here, but I do not, and I'm not sure what happened, but there are those little cloth wraps that have the Velcro
Like
on
an ace,
them.
like an ace bandage.
Kind of, yes, that is what I consider a wrist wrap. So sometimes your wrists need a little support. Sometimes I still use them. So that's why I'm very surprised I can't find them. I used to use them on my ankles all the time, or for shin splints. And again, they can be used for wrist. We'll wrap our wrist if you need the extra support to start. And like Dawn asked some very good questions in the group, and I wanted to address them, even though I did answer it. Like crystals, for me, if you did want to incorporate some crystals into your practice, I tend to use crystals that are for confidence and strength when doing anything challenging or going upside down. So like bloodstone, carnelian, hematite, jasper. I always have an amethyst and a rose quartz at all costs, because you always need a little love and support there. And for oils, lavender, frankincense, ginger, anything citrus like orange, anything along those lines. And Shannon, if you have anything to add with that.
I like all of those a lot. I mean, I use frankincense every single morning. So frankincense, the higher vibration, that'll be better for confidence and citrus.
Okay.
So I have my diffuser running. So if you have a diffuser, that's really good too, because that just creates that aroma in the space you're in, puts you in that other space of confidence and just kind of in yourself. So that's a great idea.
Yeah.
I will have mine running every time. I have it running today, but I will absolutely have it running in here. And this is the wall I'm going to use, because this is the only, I was like running around my house. I'm like, we need to find a wall, right? I was like, where the heck am I going to, how to, so I'm not going to get hurt. There's a wall behind. It's always open. So I forget that there is a 9-foot wall behind my barn door, because anyway, so I found my wall. Yay!
I'm working on that, by the way. I have to rearrange my whole place for this. So I'm working on getting that wall space for myself.
Yeah.
All right, you guys, without further ado. So I want to keep, this is going to be the longest video. Okay. I want to keep these short, sweet, to the point. If you know me, you know I don't care for fluff. So I'm not going to give you all the fluffy goodness. If you do want the fluffy goodness, I would be glad to share with you personally, but I know we are all busy. I know we have a lot of things we want to accomplish in the day. So I really want to get into exactly what you're going to need to do throughout the day. I was going to post homeworks. I'm going to post it for 2 days to see how it is for you. do not get overwhelmed. I know it looks like a lot, but with the wrist and shoulder exercises, those are the only 2 homeworks I have posted today and tomorrow. It looks like a lot, and that's why I may not post them after that. It's only a few minutes of work, I promise you. So no worries on getting overwhelmed. I just wanted to nip that in the butt before you actually see homeworks, because it looks like a lot, but it really isn't. And that's what I'm going to go over each day. So you have the video, your guide, however you want to utilize this. So today we're going to be working on wrist. Obviously, we're going to need strength and flexibility to do anything upside down. And we don't want to just, hey, wrist, here you go, here's all my weight. No, we're not going to do that. So it's super important to build. And I wanted to just go over the guide, the wrist exercises, and see if you have any questions. I was going to do a few for you, and then kind of just go over everything. And if you have questions at the end, I will gladly answer them. And if you wanted to join me doing this, you're more than welcome. But if not, that's okay too. I am going to switch my little positions though.
See you on the other side. Oh, hello. He's like, that is the best. He is living his, she is living her best life right now. Who doesn't like a head massage and a scratch behind the ears? I love it.
She has to have
Oh.
daily hugs too.
Poodles they have such great personalities. Like they just have amazing personalities.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I asked him if we could get a dog, and because so my youngest daughter's graduating a week from today. And I was like, so in like after August, when we have 0 kids in the house, can we get a dog? And he's like, no. There wasn't even there's not even a break in there was no space for a thought. It was just like, no. I was like, why? He goes, because we can't just leave now. If we get a dog, we'll never be able to just be like, hey, Shannon, let's just go somewhere today. And it's the first time we'll have the opportunity to be like, hey, Shannon, let's just go to Springfield, Missouri today. We wouldn't be able to because we have to take care of the dog. It was so fun. He's like, no.
Take her with
Okay.
you.
Right? Yeah. Anyway, I'll still work on it. All right, Miss Amanda, we can see you.
You can see me?
Hello. Yes.
One thing about, all right, I need you all on my
I
screen.
just want to duly note right now that this color coordination is spot on. I don't know how you did it, but man, it's amazing.
Right here, man, right here. All right, so wrist exercises. Is anyone getting down with me to do them?
These 2 lovelies, it looks like they are. I'm gonna be with the poodle, and I'm gonna sit here and watch.
Got it. All right. So first thing, we are going to do wrist/finger push-ups. So we are going to come into table pose. So what that is, if you are not a yogi, we are going to get on all fours, spread our fingers, make sure our arms are underneath our shoulders. I love it. I love it. All right. So from here, we are going to engage our core, and we are going to lift the middle of the palm up onto our fingers. And then release that back down. And lift the palms up and release it back down. Our goal is to keep everything where it is and literally use our wrist, our hand muscles, and our forearms, which is very interesting. But you will feel your fingers working. If this is a little too much on your wrist, you can do one at a time. and not put so much weight in your wrist, or you can push your hips back a little bit and start there. But the goal is to be shoulders over wrist, being able to go up and release. And just doing a few of these, you should be able to feel your wrist building. Yeah.
So I'm just going to confirm why you do this. You are literally lifting your body up by your forearms and your fingers. You're not using your core to lift up. It's just contracted.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes, and you should really feel it in your fingers, your wrist. Do you have any questions on that exercise?
I think the poodle has a question exactly how she is supposed to, no, I'm just joking. She is all in on this challenge.
So we're really trying to push into our fingers to lift the palms. That is like the objective. Kayla, you got a question? No, you're just looking. Am I close enough? Okay. All right. You guys can unmute and ask questions if you want. I just want to make sure you guys have no questions. And then for this, like I said, start with your baseline. If it was 5, do 5. If you can do 10, do 10. Wherever your starting line is. At the homework, I always have a 10 for 10 seconds. For these, it's just 10 times. See if you can do these 10 times. So 1, lower, 2, lower, 3, lower, 4, lower, 5, lower, 6, lower, 7, lower, 8, lower, 9, lower, 10, lower. All right, moving on. Unless we have questions. We have questions.
No questions. We're good.
Okay, so flickering. This is very interesting and you should feel this right away. I still feel this, like, it's so crazy how these work. So you can sit in thunderbolt pose if this is okay, or you can sit on your behind. Whatever is the path of least resistance for you, whatever is most comfortable. We're gonna do arms straight out in front, in fist. And then we're gonna open and pretend we're flicking water off of our hands. I say start with 10 and do them as quick as you can. But we're just pretending to flick water off our hands. And the faster you go, the more it's going to work. And you will feel this work your whole entire palm, wrist, forearms, for sure. Your forearms are gonna love you for this one. But 10 times as fast as you can. Once you get a good base on this, it's awesome to set a minute timer and just do it for a minute once we get there.
So I'm not feeling that. Where am I doing it wrong? Besides her.
So it's the flick of the fingers. Flick, yep. And you may feel it, you may not. So we're just flicking as fast pace. And it's because you're opening and closing, you're going to feel, and you may not. Every one of us are different.
Okay.
You may have
I feel
some
it in my
pretty strong
forearms.
forearms.
I feel it in my forearms right here.
Right here. Okay. All right. Thanks.
And Dawn, you may not feel it. Your forearms may be pretty good. And this is where your assessment would come in to, oh, maybe I have stronger forearms than I thought. You are winning your day. And then once we do them forward, 10 times. And if 10 times, if you're not, I do 20. But the goal is to have a minute and do maybe 30 seconds in front. And then we're going to take it up and do 30 seconds above our head. Because it's definitely a different feeling. And one is going to be a little easier than the other. Woo! And we're going to shake that out. So when you are feeling certain stretches, it's always good to counter stretch what you just worked. So bending the palms backwards to stretch this out. And I will also show you how to do that on the ground as well. So we have went over the flickering. We went over the wrist push-ups. We are going to go into wrist extensions. So we are going to start in table pose, spreading our fingers wide. We are going to activate the fingers. So pretend the fingers are like gripping the floor. Your shoulders are right over your wrist. And we are going to move forward and back. So we're neutral. We're leaning forward as far as you can. And back. Lean forward. And back. And I say start with 10 of these and hold for 10 seconds. So we're starting in neutral. We're leaning forward, but it shouldn't hurt. You should just feel a stretch and hold for 10 seconds. And come back. Inhale, lean the forward shoulders forward. Hold for 10. And back. I'll do one more, unless you want me to do the whole 10. Go forward. And neutral. All right, let's do one more. And lean forward. Hold for 10. And come back. Now, with this, because we are extending, we are going to go into flexion to counterbalance that. So we're going to take our hands. We are going to flip them over, top of the hand on the ground. And we're just going to kind of breathe. It is okay to move here if you would like to, sideways. And then we are going to do another wrist extension, but with fingers pointing backwards at you. So we're going to take the wrist from the top of the hand on the ground. We're going to flip it over to palm on ground, fingers facing your knees with both. Here, the wrists want to be under the shoulders. We're still in table. And for this one, we're going to push everything backwards. So we're stretching our wrist the opposite direction now, but it's still an extension of the wrist. Does that make sense? Okay, and then we're going to come back.
Yes.
And we're going to go backwards. Again, we're going to hold for 10. And we're going to come back to neutral. And go backwards. Hold for 10. and to neutral. Backwards. Hold for 10. And let's do 2 more together. So backwards, we're gonna hold for 10. And neutral. And backwards, hold for 10. And we're gonna come to neutral. And again, we are gonna flip our hands over, and this is also an exercise. So wrist flexion again. We're gonna put the tops of our tops of our hands on the ground and just kind of sway side to side, really seeing where our wrists are at this moment. And then let's sit back on our feet. We are gonna clasp our fingers together, and we are gonna take circle figure eights. And I say maybe a few of these just to kind of loosen everything. And I always do wrist circles one way. Let's do 10, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9. I do have to say, I don't know if I've ever tried that. And then we're gonna go the other way for 10, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then we're gonna do wrist circles on the ground. So we're gonna go back to table. Find our neutral position. And again, wrist over shoulders or shoulders over wrist. And we're gonna circle here. So just start maybe shifting to the left, going forward, going right, and backwards. Left, forward, right, and backwards. And they can be totally little. Do whatever your wrists need. I think I'm trying to overdo it so you can actually see it. And then we want to do it the opposite direction as well. So back the other way. So right, forward, left, back, right, forward, left, back. How we doing? So far, so good? And then I want to say 10 of everything, but you know your body. If you only can do 5 of everything, because there is a lot here, that is perfectly okay. Don't get discouraged. We have one more exercise, and this one is fun. So I am going to do it sideways, but I may have to turn forward. If you need to see it, let me know. All right. The top of our hands are down on the ground. Fingers facing each other. Again, wrist under shoulders. Your hips want to be kind of right over your knees, but it's okay to shift your hips back to make this a little easier to start. I know I had to personally do that. Sometimes I still do. Next, we are literally going to use our forearms, our wrist, and we are gonna ball everything into a fist on both sides. But I always start with one at a time. So let's do right and down and left and down. And then we'll do both together and down. So, and just be very, very careful with this, because put the wrong weight on the wrist and just be careful where you distribute your weight for this one. So let's do right arm, fist, and down. left arm, fist, and down. Both fist and down. Right arm, fist, and down. Left arm, fist, and down. Both and down. Right, left. Both and down. Right, down. Left, down. Both, down. Right, down. Left, down. Both, down. How are we doing? Are we good?
That was amazing.
Not gonna lie, those are hard.
So that's why I said these are the funnest.
I think it's the flipping it backwards that really got to me. So, and then I couldn't keep my arms straight with my hands backwards or even to the side. So I got to work on that.
Like this way, Dawn.
Yeah.
And that's
Exactly.
okay. Remember,
But I couldn't have my arms straight and have them flip like that.
that's okay. We
Okay.
just know where the work needs to be done. And that's okay. And again, like I said, you guys, some of these are still hard for me. So the flat to the fist, those were a struggle for me for many, many years. I still struggle to this day with those. And you're going to have your favorites. You're going to have your go-tos, you guys. You're not going to be like, I am going to conquer all of these wrist exercises. You're going to have your go-tos. You're going to have like, I can do these anywhere. And you're going to start doing them, like the wrist circles. Those are no brainer. You're going to do those because you can do these anywhere. So, and look, you guys, if you did this with me, your homework is already done. How amazing is that?
Good job, you guys.
So again, be overachievers too, it doesn't hurt, because I think for the videos, I am going to do 5 of them. So if you did want to do it with me, all you'd have to do is watch the video twice. So I'm going to try to make this as easy as possible for you.
Do you want to go to your other chair?
Yeah,
So you can
because I feel
sit.
kind of weird standing here. All right, I'll be back.
I mean, it was like turning into leg day, probably. Oh, it unmuted, Amanda. You are alive over there too.
It brought me back into the meeting.
I
right.
didn't. I can mute you though. Oh, no, I can't. That's weird.
How was that?
We just needed 2 Amanda Whites. It's all good. Dawn, you should get like extra points for increasing the challenge of doing the exercises while giving your dogs attention. Because like, I was like trying to watch Amanda and I'm like doing both. I'm like, this is amazing. Like he was like head to head with you forever. She was. I was like, this is the cutest thing I've ever seen in my life. Like you're both in table pose. Head to head, it was amazing. I just love it all. I love it all. That was awesome. Points.
It is
Get
so
extra points.
hard to do yoga and without putting them up because they want to be right because you're on the ground and that's their
Yeah.
level. And so
You're like,
Hey, maybe they'll enjoy doggy yoga too. My
There you
cat, Dawn,
They
I
have-
kid you not, my cat does cat yoga. Like it is the craziest thing. I try to get videos, but every time I'm like ready, she doesn't do it.
right. Yes.
But their
That's amazing.
walk, like if you can get them walking on like your back. We did goat yoga in Colorado. Holy cow, you guys. I have never felt more amazing than having a goat walk all over my back. It's pretty amazing. Yeah, I'm not even kidding. Just the weight of everything, like, oh, it felt great.
That is interesting. That is very cool. Are we ready to stop the recording, Miss Amanda? Are we going to go through anything else?
Do we have any questions? No? No? Okay. Day one.
Oh, wait.
Oh, yep.
If we can't make the lives, we can watch the replay. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. Yes.
Perfect.
So every day there will be a live or a video posted. Pretty sure it's going to be a live every day at 9 o'clock. That's when it starts. Every Sunday, we will hop on this Zoom together at 9 Pacific Standard Time. Same time. That's why I'm trying to keep the same time across the board. So there's no questions. And that's when we're going to gather, we're going to meet, we're going to chat, we're going to talk about questions that you have, concerns. If I need to be on a computer like this to help with alignment or fix or anything, yes.
Cool.
That's why I show up in 2 spots. I can't be on my phone for that. And I want to serve you the best I can. And that's not from a phone. So yes.
Awesome.
Okay,
All right.
day one. Whoop, whoop.
Whoop, whoop, day one done.
Yay.